friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing something that I have never done before, and I'm going to break down for you what the first 5 steps should be if you have just created your Honeybook account. So keep watching if you want some help. And welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Hope and I am a senior portrait photographer that serves both Charleston and Savannah. This YouTube channel is where I share weekly education for photographers as well as a little bit of a peek into my life living in the Low Country. And if you've tuned into any of my videos in the past, you know that I have been using Honeybook for my photography business for 8 years now. I've only been in business for 10, so I've been using it for the majority of my business. I absolutely love it. It is what I use to book all of my clients. I accept payments, I do contracts, questionnaires, I keep track of my expenses, I keep track of my calendar, I have scheduling in there, I do everything in Honeybook. There are tons of videos on my channel if you want to see more about how I use it and what my booking process looks like, but today I want to speak specifically to those of you that might be setting up Honeybook for the very first time. So I essentially want to treat this video like a beginner's tutorial for those of you that have maybe never used Honeybook before and are setting it up for the first time and want an understanding of what your first steps should be. So that's what we're going to dive into today. But before I do that, I actually have a brand new free gift for you that I am so excited about. Over 600 photographers have already done this. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you might have heard me talk about the Senior Scoop. It is my online membership for senior portrait photographers that get monthly new content, real senior sessions, editing, camera settings, lighting, locations, posing. You get to see it all and essentially be a fly on the wall at a real senior session every single month for only $27. So previously, you've only really been able to watch me shoot as a paying member of the Senior Scoop subscription. But for the first time, as a huge thank you to you guys for tuning in and being a part of this channel, we are giving you guys free access to one of my favorite senior sessions of all time. You'll get to watch Brooke's senior session completely for free, as well as the bonus video of me editing and culling through her entire shoot. So if you want to see how we created beautiful images like this with the iconic pink figgy car in downtown Charleston at sunrise, I would love to have you sign up to watch this session for free. The link is in the description down below. You get free access for 5 days to watch this entire shoot, as well as the culling and editing process of these images to give you just a little taste of what the Senior Scoop is like. Again, no catch, 100% for free. You can sign up at the link down in the description. So with all of that said, let's dive into Honeybook. So like I mentioned, Honeybook is a CRM. It is a client management software, and it's what I've been using for the majority of my business now to process all of my client bookings, my payments, and my entire client experience. I swear by it. I truly don't know what I would do without it at this point. And I want to show you the 5 first steps that you should take if you are making a Honeybook account for the very first time. There are a lot of new features in Honeybook. Since I first created my account 8 years ago, they're constantly rolling out new features, which I think is amazing. As a user, I always appreciate that they're constantly rolling out new things. Their customer support has always been amazing to me. So I kind of want to run through what I would do first if I was setting up my Honeybook account right now. So if you're somebody that's making an account for the first time, that's awesome. I'm also going to link my 50% off link down below. It's an affiliate link, but it allows you to get 50% off of your first year as a Honeybook user. So if you haven't created your account, use that link down below and you can follow along with me to set up these first 5 steps in your account. So this is what the inside of Honeybook looks like. So you can see here that it says Good Morning Hope. It has a little bit about my calendar today, my tasks, my bookkeeping, my reports, my projects. So if you're logging into Honeybook for the very first time, obviously all of this will be blank, but this is what the landing page looks like. So step 1, when you're setting up your Honeybook account, before you actually do anything in the back end, is to determine how exactly you want to use Honeybook in your business. And what I mean by that is that there are quite a few different ways to onboard clients into Honeybook. A lot of people use what's called a contact form that you can find here under Tools and Contact Form. A lot of people use a Honeybook contact form on their website. So anybody that inquires with you, whether they ultimately end up booking or not, is put into the Honeybook system. And all of your client communication is done inside of Honeybook. A lot of photographers do it this way and absolutely love it. The reason that I don't do it this way is because I get so many website submissions and inquiries from my site that are not actual photography clients. I have photographers that are asking me business questions, people that are traveling to Savannah or Charleston that just want to ask me my favorite places to visit. And if every single one of those people was added into Honeybook as a client or a prospect, that would become a very big problem and very overwhelming. So what I do instead is that I don't add my clients into Honeybook until they're ready to book me. So we do all of the pre-booking communication in my email inbox. And then once they say, okay, we are ready to lock in a date, I manually input them into Honeybook. So it's just kind of important for you to decide which workflow is going to be better for you before you set up your account. Because if you decide that you want to go the contact form route, that's going to be step one for you, is to set up that contact form and get it embedded in your website. Since I don't do that, we're going to skip that step and move straight to step two. But if you're somebody that wants to do your workflow that way, I would start with the contact form. But if you want to use Honeybook the way that I use Honeybook, step two is to go into your company settings and customize everything about your business here. One of my favorite parts about Honeybook is the beautiful way that you can brand and present all of your documents to your clients. I am huge on branding and visuals and everything feeling really cohesive and elevated. And I think that Honeybook gives you a lot of opportunity to do that by customizing the way that things look. So in your company settings, there's quite a few things that you're going to want to pay attention to. Obviously the basics here, like your contact information and your website, but these brand elements right here are huge. I like to have my main logo that looks really elevated, just my monogram, as the main logo for my Honeybook account, because this is the logo that's going to show up on all of the files. And it just looks really elevated and consistent to have it that way. I've also customized the button color to be my branding color. And you can add images here and set a default image that you want to be at the top of all of your files. This just sets you off on the right foot by making sure that everything is cohesive and consistent and beautiful before you ever send a single file. Smart Files right here is a brand new feature of Honeybook that I actually don't even use yet. So if you guys want to see a first impressions and a walkthrough of Smart Files in Honeybook, let me know down below. I'm happy to make that for you. But as of right now, I don't use this feature because again, it's brand new. You'll also want to customize your email signature here. Mine just has my website. I don't really prefer client communication over the phone, so I leave that out of my email signature on purpose. You can customize your one-liner and your bio here, add all of your social media links, and add all of your personal information. Then you're going to go here into preferences. This is where you can edit all of your preferences, obviously, for communication within Honeybook and what they notify you for. I'm somebody that likes to know everything that's going on in the back end of my client experience, so I have all of my notifications turned on. So Honeybook will notify me when somebody opens their file, when somebody pays, when somebody signs. It notifies me throughout every step of the client experience, which I love. You can also set up actions and payment reminders here, which I do have set up. And you're just going to want to go through all of these sections and set up your domain, your integrations, add in your team if you're somebody that has a team. It just really kind of gets you started on the right foot to make sure all of your information is inputted here and all of your branding and files and visuals are going to be set up correctly before you ever send a file to a potential client. The next step, step 3, when you are setting up your Honeybook account for the first time, is that you are going to want to set up all of your templates. This is the most time-consuming part, but also the most important part of setting up your Honeybook experience, because the thing that saves you time, the reason that Honeybook is so valuable in any business, is that you can send every single file with one click. So right now you might be typing the same emails over and over and over again. Here's how to prep for your shoot. Here's my pricing. Here's what to expect. Here's my contract. Like maybe you're typing each of those things every single time you have an inquiring client, or you're having to customize the contract every time or the invoice every time. The beautiful thing about Honeybook that was mind-boggling and just game-changing for me when I started using it was the fact that I could send every single thing with just one click. click, and it was all consistent and cohesive and beautiful, and it felt like this amazing client experience to my customers. So step 3 is to set up all of those templates. So you go here to tools and you will go to my templates. Now you can make this as involved or as minimal as you would like it to be at the beginning. I remember that I went in and added in every single file that I had so that I was starting off knowing that I could basically run my entire client experience with just one click for everything. So the biggest things that you're gonna want to come in here and set up are your contracts. For me, initially, that was just my senior photography contract and my wedding contract. The really cool thing about this is that you can set all of these things to have your client fill them in for you. So you can go into your entire contract and customize what is going to be filled in by you, what's going to be filled in by your client, what's going to be automatically filled in, like the location maybe. When you create the project, you'll put the location for the shoot, so it's automatically filled in the contract for you. You can just add all of those, they're called smart fields, where you can make the contract to be able to apply to everybody. You can take out the sections that apply to each specific person, like their name, and make it so that they fill that in upon receipt, so that you are skipping the step of having to go in and personalize this for every single client. It's a huge time saver. So you'll want to set up your contracts. And the other thing that I found to be really, really helpful was to set up my invoices and my packages. So you can do that under the services section if you're somebody that's going to be using the smart files. So I have this set up under packages, where you can see all of my services and what the prices are in one place. So the senior experience, for example, has the $600 price point. That's an old price point. They are now $1,500. So I'm going to update that in my template. But it talks them through what it is, what's included, and what the price is. So then when you go to make a proposal, all you have to do is click senior experience, and this is automatically filled in for you. So I put in all of my services when I first made my account, my wedding services, my engagement sessions, my albums, my senior sessions, so that everything was available for me to add to a proposal with just one click. So easy. And then the last thing is going to be the email templates. So for me, there's quite a few email templates, because I have a template for when I send the proposal, for after they book, when I send their questionnaire, when I send their final gift, a week before the shoot. I have templates for everything. Again, these are probably the emails that you're having to type over and over and over again for all of your different clients. And you can just save them here as templates so that you can, with one click, send it to everybody. And you can do the same thing with smart fields, where it just says hi, name, and automatically fills in your client name. It is a beautiful thing to save you a ton of time. So again, this is going to be the most time-consuming part of creating a Honeybook account. The beautiful thing is that you only have to do it once. I come in here at the beginning of every year and update these. Clearly, I did a bad job this year since my pricing was not right on that package. But other than that, you never really have to do this again. It's a one-time setup to save you hours and hours and hours of time. The fourth step that I did when setting up my Honeybook account for the first time was syncing all of my calendars. So Honeybook is where I basically go every single morning to see what I have on my calendar for that day. It is synced with my Google Calendar, which is synced with my Apple Calendar on my phone, and everything shows up on my Honeybook calendar. So you'll go here to Tools, over to Calendar, and this is where you will sync everything together. So right here under settings, you can add a Google Calendar, you can add an iPhone calendar, you can sync whatever calendar platforms you use, and it is going to show you everything that you have on your calendar. So you can see here I have a filming day. The cool part about this is that it's going to show me my meetings and my shoots and all of the things that I put in my phone calendar, like the fact that I have a walk and a date night tonight. But it's also going to show me the projects that I have in Honeybook and the payment schedules, which I love. So you can see these green ones right here show me that a payment is due from a client, and these blue ones are my projects, so I know that that's a shoot day. So it basically just takes my entire life and color codes it and puts it in a calendar for me, and it is a beautiful thing. So sync up all of your calendars so that you know that you can log into Honeybook every day and see everything in the same place. It's game changing. And the last thing that you're going to want to do before you send your first proposal is make sure that you set up your payment payment details and link your Honeybook to your bank account. So you're gonna go here under settings again, and you're gonna go to bank details and payments here. So you can sync Honeybook just directly to your bank account, and it will directly deposit all of your payments there. Obviously, it's not gonna take your money if you forget to set this up before you send your first invoice, but I just always like to know that if money comes in, it's going straight into my account. So step 5 is to make sure you set up those bank details. So to recap, step 1, make sure that you decide how you want to use Honeybook in your client experience and when the clients are going to be added into Honeybook, so that way you kind of know what to expect going into this setup process. Number 2 is to customize all of your account settings and your branding within Honeybook so that everything is consistent and cohesive and beautiful. Number 3 is the most time consuming. That's to customize all of your templates for your contracts, your services, and your emails. That way you can send everything with one click moving forward. Step 4, sync your calendars so that you can log in and know you're seeing everything in one place. And number 5 is to link your bank account so that you know all of your money is being directly deposited into your bank. Lastly, is you'll want to make your first proposal. And I actually have multiple videos about this already on my channel. So to save you time, I won't talk about all of that again today. I'll just link the next video in the description down below if you want to see what the proposal process looks like in my business. But like I mentioned, if you want to try Honeybook for 50% off, the link is in the description below. The other link is that free senior session for you to watch if you'd like to watch me do an entire shoot and be a fly on the wall to hear my thought processes behind posing, lighting, camera settings, and every single thing that I do at a shoot to produce really beautiful images that I'm proud of. I would also be so grateful to have you subscribe. I share new videos every single week, and we're just so grateful that you tuned in. So I will see you next Monday. Bye.